guys, this is Nadya and Andreeva from spinachandyoga.com, and this is Happy Belly interview series where I'm interviewing various inspirational speakers, authors, chefs, Ayurvedic experts, and just really amazing people that I look up to. And today I have a new friend, a person who has been inspiring me all over social media, and I've been following her, and then I was like, well, I just have to reach out. And then we chatted, and she's an amazing person with such an incredible amount of knowledge and wisdom, because she has a background of working both with people but also with coaches who support other people. Rachel Feldman is also a mom. She lives in Florida. She's a wellness coach with a huge background in detoxes and elimination diets, as well as Reiki. So welcome, Rachel. Thank you for being with us. And before we jump into the interview, I want to tell a little bit of a story on how you got into it, and I find it personally very, very inspiring. So Rachel wasn't planning to become a health coach from the very beginning. She was in a high stress environment, working in the corporate world, and then at the time when the stock market crashed and the economy went all the way down, and her family lost everything. Her husband lost everything, and she was the one who started to put their world back together in a way that actually supported people around her. So the way she talks about it is that she's a woman on a mission, and her mission is to help others to feel incredible in their bodies. So Rachel, I'm really excited to talk to you.
Thank you so much. And, you know, I'm so pleased and honored to be here. I think not only is it an honor, but you inspire me. And through social media, I've been so blessed to find you and be able to watch you and watch this book launch that's coming up. So it's just
Thank you.
So exciting. And that story is even deeper because not only do I help people with, digestion and help coaches to kind of rock the ripple effect and take this worldwide, but I suffered for so many years with my own digestion issues. And when I was in that stressful corporate world, I remember saying to myself, like, I've been there and done that and went to so many people that swore to me there was a cure, like swore to me that there was one way of doing it. And I remember saying to myself, like, one day when I get healthy, or one day when I am going to let people know that there's not just one way, that it's about learning, tools, and it's about having those tools in your back pocket so that you can empower yourself and help yourself and your family and your friends and be that domino effect. So yeah, when the stock market crashed, it was the perfect opportunity, not just to be the woman that I am on a mission, but to really, it was like the jump start to say, okay, now you really got to do it anyway.
I love that you looked at the such a negative event in many people's perception in such a positive way, because basically everything in our life is about the perception, right?
Yeah.
The way we frame it. So since you have a personal story of healing your digestion, and do you mind saying what it was exactly that was wrong with it?
Yeah, I mean, I always believe that genes load the gun and environment pulls the trigger. So even when I was born as a little baby, my mom always said that I had, constipation and rashes and eczema and cradle cap. And at that time, doctors just said everyone had cradle cap. But even when I was little, I always had, belly aches, poor sleep. I even remember at like 11 years old waking up always around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and knowing now that's like the time of the liver. But when I got to be about 17 and 18, my digestive issues really took a turn and started having more lung issues as well. Had my first ulcer at 14. So this actually was a cascade of, I think, just years. And I always say everyone has like a trash can. It's almost like when your trash can spills over, you'll see then a cascade of other health issues, because that's how the body works. So eventually through going off to college and I'm sure compounded stress, really things turned when I found out I got mercury poisoning at around age 25. And I think that was just when my body said, we are done. Thank you very much. We've had enough. We cannot process out the normal, mercury and heavy metals that most of us can. Yeah. So that led to a bunch of different pathogens, microbials, fungus, every different thing that you can think about as far as having. I was blessed to have, and I say blessed because it's given me insight into being able to help the people that come to me that have said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I'm dying.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I take it very seriously when I think about building that garden in our tummy because, we carry in us the very junk that we don't want to give to either our babies that we either kiss who are with us or that are in our tummy or anywhere.
It's incredible. Talk about all hell breaking loose before it all gets back to normal.
I
know. So now, how do you know that your belly is happy? Because it seems like you have a huge understanding of what it feels like when it's unhappy.
Yeah.
What is it now for you like?
So, and I even say this, me personally, I know what exactly I feel like in the way that I explain it to my clients, so I'll even tell both. A happy belly should feel like this. One, there should not be bloating after you're eating. I mean, that's
before you eat either.
Or before you eat, but especially after you eat. Somebody will say like, I ate this and I felt bloated, or they'll say, my finger swelled, or they will say, I had a little acid reflux, but I get that all the time. A happy belly should not be like gurgling after you eat and feel like that you have to like push on it, or it shouldn't feel like that under your rib cage that you actually feel like food isn't going down, or that you feel like you have to go to the bathroom, but you cannot. Our belly and our digestion actually goes all the way from our mouth all the way down to our anus. And so our digestion actually encompasses a very huge part, ears, nose, and throat, And that's why I get so excited about it, because all disease, Hippocrates said, begins in the gut.
Yep.
So a happy belly should mean that really you are actually happy, because 95% of that serotonin is manufactured in your gut. So it means that when you eat, you are actually properly digesting. There shouldn't be acid reflux. You shouldn't feel like nauseous. You shouldn't feel bloated. You shouldn't feel kind of pains anywhere. You should be able to properly eliminate. I know for me, when I eat, if I've eaten something in poor combination, I will feel a little acid reflux. And that's a perfect indication right away for me that either that food wasn't right for my unique body, either that food combination wasn't right for my unique body, or that, maybe that day, as we talked about, that my stress level was a little higher. Maybe I ate too fast, which is most often a very common thing. We're not, which is why I tell people, eat with chopsticks, slow it down, take a breath, take in 10 deep breaths, like 10, even just 10 right before you eat. So that's usually what I explain to people a happy belly should feel like.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, and I love the part that you bring up the stress, because stress is such a huge aspect of it, and sometimes even if you're eating the super healthy diet, if you're always stressed, your digestion just doesn't work. Digestion doesn't work when the nervous system is stressed, period, no matter what you eat. How would, like in your experience, you're a super busy professional, you're helping people, you're helping other coaches, so And plus, you have kids, so your day is super busy. A lot of people, when you tell them, well, sit down to eat, put your phone away, put the computer away, they just think it's impossible. What have you done in your life to make it possible?
That's such a good question because I have a 5 and 7 year old. So I swear,
Yeah, and you have a huge business to run.
yeah, from the time that I wake up, it's almost like game is on. And, compounded by the fact that I'm in Aries and my whole house are fire signs, I think that, we need like lots of just, lots of good energy in our house all the time. So for me, what I do is I really schedule that in. And I know, I want to be in the flow. And what I have found is that I have to almost like schedule my mommy time, especially when I work with moms. I say, you have to schedule your time almost as you're scheduling a play date for your child. And it's the same when you're a CEO of your business. I have to schedule like making sure that I'm nourishing myself with like here's my green juice, making sure that I'm getting good alkalizing foods, making sure that when I go to eat and I want to eat, that I'm making sure that I've cooked with coconut oil for energy, that I sat down, that I like just shut off, and if I can't, to really own that I can't at that time, and to make sure that when I do, that I'm eating the right foods. Does that kind of make sense?
I think it does. And what I'm hearing is you put yourself as a priority.
And it's really hard. I mean, I think, and you and I were just talking about this sometimes, and I hear a lot of moms say this, and we're really talking about moms. Like, as moms, we can't always put ourselves first. It's the reality. Sometimes our kids are sick and we're up all night. Sometimes we're running businesses and we work 9 to 5. So that means we're leaving the house to drop off our kids at school at 8. We don't get back. We're cooking dinner. And so by the time night comes and our kids have been put to sleep, it's 8 o'clock at night. And so that might mean for me that I'm drinking a green juice and putting magnesium oil on my feet and rubbing lavender and taking my first breath and shoving 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into my mouth so that my brain calms down and gets good fat, so that my nervous system calms down. But I make sure always in my day that I have green juices. I make sure that I'm always consuming, for me, broccoli. I make sure that I always have a good protein source, whether it's, plant-based or, if I'm having a small amount of bison, I make sure I know for that day what I need to fuel myself. And I think that you brought up something huge, which is to be in emergency mode is a mode that doesn't work for a mom or as a woman. And so making sure within my day that, and I keep a rebounder in my office.
I love it. I have a rebounder right here next to me.
So making sure that I literally actually, and I have a vision board in my closet where I get dressed, because I can rush, and it's like the little reminders, and I set them on my phone actually to say, like, did you drink your green juice? Did you have a cup of dandelion tea? Did you eat? I mean, little reminders, because as moms and women, we go low on the totem pole. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've had to learn is how to make sure that I'm, putting myself first, because digestion isn't just about the food we eat, it's digesting our life.
I totally love it. I love the little reminders, and I can totally picture your closet with a vision board.
I had to do it because I saw, and I'm sure every mom who listens to this relates, because the moment we stress, our digestion goes a wire. It just, it gets it's horrible. A lot of people will say, especially after birthing, a lot of women get IBS, especially while they're nursing and we're blood deficient because we're giving all our nutrients to the baby. Our digestion's hampered. So we have to make sure, and especially during the month, the month when we're menstruating, we have to make sure that we're eating real blood nourishing foods.
And I love it. And there's something that you brought up that I want to explore more because I think it has a huge potential to help other women is magnesium oil and lavender, because I think magnesium is such an important nutrient that a lot of us are deficient in. And you can take it as powder, as pills, as calm liquid, as oil, as a spray. Tell us, why do you choose oil?
So, pills get absorbed in a certain way, and everything with pills always comes down to your digestion, whether you're assimilating and absorbing. When you actually use a salve or actually use the oil, it's actually going right into your bloodstream. So the magnesium oil, which most of us are deficient, and it's required for so many metabolic processes, especially hormones, especially our, brain function, especially going to the bathroom, and great sleep, which I think most women have. Our sleep starts to get disturbed at about the age of like 28, and then it gets worse once we birth. I find that for me, I take magnesium pills, but the oil has just been essential for me. And I even put like a drop or two right on my little kids' feet while they're sleeping, and have found it just to calm them. I feel like all of those natural remedies that we can use, for our kids, the coconut oil, which is antiviral and antiparasitic and great for their brain function. I mean, I shove that into my kid's mouth. The minute that I see a cold, a sniffle, I just shove it right in. So I feel the same thing with magnesium oil. And then lavender, it's that same thing you said with the autonomic nervous system. We as women are the warriors that have to, be the calming sense in our house. And I know when I'm crazy, and not grounded, so are my children.
Yeah.
So in Chinese medicine, they always say like, deficient mommy, deficient babies. So, when the mama has like good yin and we're all in the flow and everything, so are the babies. So I feel like the magnesium oil and the lavender and Epsom salt baths and all of those other ways that don't even have to do with food, it's all about good digestion, because good digestion is about us owning our complete self.
And I think it's really easy to focus only on one thing. Like most people will focus on food when healing digestion. But there are actually so many other aspects, and all of them are equally important. You can't just deal with food and not address the stress issue. And I think magnesium helps with both to calm down the nervous system and to help with digestion. And I actually do agree that it does absorb much easier in oil or spray form. And what I usually do, I never tried to put it before sleep, but usually after a workout, I'll just spray it on my legs and I'll let it dry up, which dries up really quickly, and then I shower.
Oh, I have to try that one. See, I always learn something new.
Well, I found that oil is probably going to be different, but spray actually dries out and it becomes a little bit white.
Yeah. Oh, the oil is actually, it's not as oily as you'd think.
Yeah.
It really rubs right into the skin. But I know the minute my son goes and plays, football, and he's only 7. He plays flag football in hot weather and comes home and says, "Oh, my legs are hurting." I know he's mineral deficient. So I either put a little magnesium oil, or I give him some coconut water, or I give him water with sea salt and a little honey with a little lemonade in it. Those are all the things for us as mamas, and that's all digestion. Most of us are mineral deficient. So our digestion can't work.
Yeah, and I think it's not that mineral deficient that, for example, we just don't have it in our food. It's a lot of times we can absorb it. And
Right.
when you put it on the skin, it is there's even actually the whole it's like line of Ayurveda where a lot of stuff is transdermal, so it doesn't have to go through digestion, doesn't have to go through
Mhm.
liver, and gets absorbed straight into the skin. And I love that you're using small things in the kitchen like coconut water and sea salt with honey as remedy versus just going for supplements, which a lot of people, they'll stop taking prescription medicine, but then they rely fully on supplements without necessarily respecting the fact that even simple drinks and food can be an actual healing remedy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm always blown away when I meet um, men or women from other cultures other than the U.S., where they'll say, my grandma or my mom would, give me coconut milk with some turmeric and some honey and some cinnamon and, a little clove in there. And then my tummy would feel better or my sickness would go away.
Mm-hmm.
Or, my grandma would go and pull, this from the garden. Or, my mom would give me a little wasabi or, to make sure. I mean, there's all these ways
Yeah.
of curing our bodies, kimchi, I mean, sauerkraut, all these different ways that other cultures don't even think about it.
Yep.
Spices, but so yeah, I mean, it's out there. We just have to, like I said in the beginning, empower each other to know what to do.
Yeah, I love it. Rachel, you shared so many really actionable, great tips. So if people want to learn more about your programs or if other health coaches want to learn more about how you can help them, where can they find you?
So if you want to learn more about the programs that I offer and kind of just what I do with my own kids, what I do in my
Mm-hmm.
life, you can find me at www.rachelswellness.com. And then if you are a health coach and you're interested in putting programs similar to what I do into your own practice so that you can grow your practice in similar ways, you can find that information at the same site or at detox.rachelswellness.com.
And we'll put both the links right below the video so you guys can take a
Yeah.
look. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can watch all other Happy Belly interviews and get the book so you learn more about how to heal your gut and make your belly happy.
Yes, make your belly happy so that the whole world is happy and you're happy.
Yes, yes, sure. Well, we'll see you in the next interview. Thanks.
Thank you so much.